Hey, yo, YouTube, what's good? Welcome to the Resilient Mindset Podcast, a channel dedicated to the motivation of men's mental health and awareness. You clicked the thumbnail in today's topic of discussion, trauma bonds. What are they? And most importantly, how can you protect yourself? We'll cover 7 warning signs you need to look out for while you're out here in these streets. Let's get into it.
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Welcome back. Special disclaimer, trauma bonds can be created both ways. However, we'll be addressing trauma bonds from the perspective of male dating. Yo, today's dating market is super cutthroat. Relationships seem to be at an all-time low, throwing the super high expectations and minimal return on investments, all while navigating the unending games of manipulation. And you have today's dating market scene. Yet, date is gonna date. I get it. We're all social creatures. So, how can you properly vet for potentially healthy relationships? One absolute action you need to be on point for is signs of trauma bonding. I want you guys to always keep your head on a swivel in all relationship situations. This applies to intimate, personal, and professional relationships. So, what are trauma bonds? If you didn't know what trauma bonds are, creators and psychologists Dutton and Painter explain it as the development and course of strong emotional ties between persons where one person intermittently harasses, threatens, abuses, or intimidates the other. This basically means a person creates or manipulates a strong emotional connection by mixing harmful experiences with pleasant ones. You know, what people may call the push and pull method, which can be healthy. However, when used to finesse a person's emotions harmfully for personal gain, honestly, that's just super trash. You might be thinking, how the hell does this happen? Or ain't nobody gonna get me. To keep it a buck, it happens all too frequently. It is a shady process that unfolds on the low. Don't stress it. I got you though. So, how are trauma bonds created? Basically, this is through the interaction or the relationship influence, which can be done by time, power dynamic, and shame. Time of the relationship, this can be used as short or long form game. This also depends on the defenses of your mental stability. However, the longer you are susceptible to these tactics, the more harm you will be open to in that relationship. And an example of that can be possibly you're in a situationship and you let someone know from the beginning that, hey, you're not looking for anything serious. At least I hope you guys are being upfront and letting these chicks know that you're not really trying to get into anything long term. However, you're in a situationship type of situation, or maybe you're in a relationship and they're pressuring you to progress things along more quickly than what you want it to be. So you're in a situationship and they're pressing you to get into a relationship after you told them that you weren't looking for that. Or you're in a relationship and they're pressuring you to get married. So in this situation, it can be short form or long term, but they basically put pressure on you within that relationship to do something that they want. Honestly, there's a difference between indecisiveness and reflectiveness. You should take time enough to properly vet any situation before making a conscious or permanent decision. Uneven power dynamics. This person uses their increased social status, finances, and appearance against you. And what that may look like in an intimate situation or relationship is a woman who dates brokies, dusties, Pookie or Ray Ray type dudes, a guy she deliberately knows isn't on her level. She uses this as leverage because she knows this guy can't do better than her. So she holds all the cards and holds all the power. That's why it's important, fellas, that when dating these women, you properly vet them. See what kind of dudes she dated before you, maybe who her ex is. Ask questions. If you let someone talk enough, they will tell you all you need to know about them. So basically, when you meet these women, make sure that you get that, they call it the fact checks. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you check their stats. I know that there's this big thing that you're not supposed to be worried about bodies. However, bodies matter. You need to know what type of person you're dealing with, what type of person you're going to be letting into your intimate circle or your personal space. So yeah, definitely make sure that you're properly vetting so that you know the type of individual that you possibly can be encountering. This next one is the grimiest and actually the icing on the cake, and this is shame. They will weaponize your perceived shortcomings or inadequacies against you. They use shaming tactics or backhanded compliments to diminish your self-worth and make you feel liked or accepted only by them. So this may sound like, yeah, okay, find anyone better than me, or guys like you are normally not on my radar. Is that all? Okay, I guess. You're not what I expected, but it's cool. We're going here. I have a better place in mind. That kind of looks dope, even for you. Yo, I swear, why you always be begging? In every scenario, the person uses their power to control the interaction in the relationship by letting you know low key who is the superior. And if you would like to read up more on trauma bonds, I'll definitely post the link in the description box so you can read more for your benefit. Today's food for thought affirmation: my partner is a reflection of me. In my opinion, in some circles, they say we are who we attract. They also say opposites attract. So let that digest. And while you let that digest, I most definitely appreciate your viewership so far. I want you to do me a huge solid and hit that like and subscribe button for support by pushing my content to other viewers like you. All right, fellas, let's get into the 7 trauma bond warning signs you need to be on the lookout for. Number 1, becomes very affectionate very quickly. Now, I know you might be him or you may be that dude, and maybe you used to, hooking up quickly with chicks and things of that nature, or having pretty much a good interaction with them, which is dope. However, I think there's a fine distinction between meeting someone and you having a brief conversation, maybe a few words, and the next thing you know, you knocking her spinal cord out of alignment. So in this situation, this chick is going to be very affectionate, very quickly. It's not going to take that much time for you to, talk her out of her drawers or, to get intimate with her. She's going to do that very quickly and very hastily. Number 2, declaring strong feelings after just meeting. So this can be after you guys had an intimate encounter, or maybe you guys haven't had that yet and you're working your way towards that. She's definitely letting you know that you're the one. She has deep, strong feelings for you. You never made her feel this way before. She's never met a guy like you before. All of the regular G that people spit when they're trying to, gas you up. So, she'll definitely be letting you know that she's head over heels for you. And you might be thinking, yo, like, I got this chick sprung, and it could be that she is sprung. However, this is a very dangerous situation. And it kind of reminds me of what we talked about in my previous video when we talked about the ideation stage. And this sounds very familiar to that. So, guys, just be on the lookout for women who you just meet and they have like these strong, deep feelings for you. And you guys just met 2 seconds ago. Number 3, wanting to spend every moment with you, pretty much a clinger or a clingy person. And this kind of comes off the heels of the declaring strong feelings, always wants to be around you, calling you all the time, wanting to see you every day. And, a lot of guys fall for this because it seems cool that she wants to be around. And maybe she's a cool person. You want to be around her all the time. However, this is definitely a way that they're using you to become more attached to them. So the more time you spend with them, that dopamine starts kicking in, and then it turns into an addiction. And that's something I'll talk about in another video about the dopamine. However, basically she's grooming you in a sense, to be addicted to her because of the amount of time you guys spend together. So the more time you spend, the more time you build in an attachment to her. So just be cautious when you meet someone and they want to spend every waking moment, texting you all day, calling you all day, the first person to text at night, the first person to text in the morning, last person to text at night, just all of these different things that shows signs of clinginess. Number 4, grand gestures. And this can be anything from as small as wanting to get a tattoo to as big as proposing, and then even something in the middle, wanting to move in. Now, mind you, all of these things is happening and you just met this chick. I would say maybe within the first 6 months. And, she's talking about these things. Maybe, like I said, you guys are on a talking phase or situationship, and talking about, marriage. Are you looking for marriage? Are you looking for kids? Now, don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean that every woman is this way, but if she's purposefully pushing these type of ideas on you, like as far as like an ultimatum, then yeah, you need to definitely be on the lookout for this. Getting tattoos. I know there's a lot of talking to space about women with tattoos. I would say you would need to be on the lookout for women with tattoos with dudes' names on them. That definitely let you know what kind of relationship that was. If a woman gets a tattoo of a dude's name on her, then that relationship was intense. So if she's asking the same thing of you or requesting the same thing of you, then I definitely would have my antennas up and get those red flags to waving, because that's exactly what it's looking like in that situation. Number 5, jealousy and suspicion disguised as caring deeply. And guys, you definitely need to be on the lookout for this. This is the most dangerous one, where you have women who use jealousy and suspicion as a way to let them know that you care about them. So they could potentially put you in harmful situations or predicaments with other guys, or just in general, just to know that you're jealous of her or protective of her, so that it shows her that you care about her. And what could that look like? That can look like, for jealousy, that can be like, maybe you guys are out, maybe out at an event, and a guy's flirting with her, and maybe she's low-key flirting back, or talking to a waiter, or talking to a staff person, or wherever you at, just showing signs of interest when she's really not interested, but she's showing perceived signs of interest, just to see what your reaction is going to be. So if you react, that means that you care about her. If you don't react, then that means that you don't care about her. And guys, in any situation, when a woman is trying to do this and play these type of manipulative games, you need to just leave her alone. Straight up, just leave her alone. You don't have time to be messing around with a woman who wants to put you in situations that can be potentially harmful to you. If she thinks that she needs to make you jealous to care about her, then she's not for you. She's definitely for the streets. The next one, suspicion. What does suspicion look like? This could be a situation where maybe you guys are at home chilling, and maybe she's on the phone texting, and she's laughing like she's having the time of her life. And you're like, oh, yo, what's up? Like, what's so funny? And, she's like, well, it was nothing. It's just my homeboy or my brother or, my cousin or whatever. But it's really a guy on the low. But, guy cousin, guy brother, those type of names that they say to kind of throw your scent off the trail. And she's just having a good old time. But it sounds like it could be like you could just leave it alone and let it rock. But in the back of your mind is like, yo, what is this dude saying that's so funny that got her like acting so weird? Like what's really going on? What's really good? So so the more you press her about the situation and confirm or want to confirm your suspicions, that lets her know like, oh, he cares about me because he's suspicious about everything that I do. I don't know if you ever hear girls talk, and the toxic ones anyway, and they'll be having this girl talk, and they'll have this talk about how, yeah, girl, my guy, he's so this or he's so that or he's so jealous. God, he's so jealous. But they really like that because that lets them know that someone cares about them. So that lets you know that she doesn't have any self-worth or any self-validation because she needs to get it from other people. So again, fellas, this is a super red flag. All right. Number 6, zero boundaries. So this kind of coincides with the first one, becoming very affectionate very quickly, and number 2, declaring strong feelings after just meeting. So zero boundaries means she has no limits. She's open for any and everything. She doesn't care. She doesn't have any boundaries. Anyone can do pretty much what they want because she doesn't have a way of properly putting up her defenses to protect her own personal safety or boundaries. So the only caveat with that, and it might seem great because dealing with a woman who has zero boundaries, she's more open, she's more pretty much just for everybody, just to be clear, right? And maybe it's your turn with her, so it might seem like it's a great thing. The other side to that is that she's going to assume that you have no boundaries because she doesn't have boundaries or she hasn't created boundaries for herself. She's going to assume that everyone thinks just like her. So what this may look like for you, maybe you get into an argument or disagreement, and these are those type of chicks that'll jump in the dude's face talking about, I'm going to fight you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, because they have no boundaries. You know, they think that they can just do or say whatever they want, and it's okay because they allow people to say and do whatever they want to them. So this can be a very, very serious situation, detrimental, in fact, situation. So if you come across a chick who doesn't have any boundaries or doesn't show that she can create boundaries for herself, then you need to leave her alone, because she's going to think that's going to be the same way with you. And, you know, I know my guys are working on themselves and creating those boundaries. So make sure that if you want to create those boundaries and enforce them, that you deal with people who also have healthy boundaries and know how to create them. Number 7, wanting everyone to know you are together. Now, I know this might sound controversial because we're so used to seeing things in social media where guys are going on these designated foodie dates and, you know, they don't get no shine in the picture. Everything is being taken pictures of, the appetizers, the bread, the drinks, you know, even the tablecloth, everything but the guy. Maybe he might get like an elbow or some fingertips or fingernails in there. But other than that, he's a mystery person. You don't know who the hell she's on a date with. Or, you know, these chicks that be out on vacation, you know, on yachts, on the beach, or doing all these things. And, you know, we all know there's a funder behind it, but you never see the funder. You just see her out living her best life. However, in this situation, it's going to be the reverse. You know, she's taking pictures with you guys everywhere, posting on IG, Instagram, crazy. You might think like, yo, like this chick really digging me. You know, to me, that might be a red flag, because it might be maybe she just got out of a relationship and you might be the rebound dude. And these pictures are just being used as, one, to get back at the ex to make him jealous, or 2, let her friends and family know that, hey, I moved on. I'm doing great. I'm living my best life. I'm not worrying about this past dude. I'm doing what I need to do to move on. All the while using you as that placeholder until she, you know, decides maybe to go back with her ex, or, you know, she finds the next person or whatever, or she gets what she wants out of that relationship with you. So definitely you need to be on the lookout for that. If someone is just like OD posting, you know, you guys together on social media platforms. Listen up. Trauma bonds are extremely harmful. It can cause extreme emotional and psychological damage that can take years of therapy and support to undo. Trauma bonds aren't easily broken, but are easy as hell to create. Watch who you emotionally, mentally, and intimately bond yourself to. What are your thoughts? Drop them in the comment section. As always, if you gain any value from my video, stay locked for more content by viewing another one of my videos. Stay resilient.